The word cabotage refers to a foreign truck, a Canadian truck or a Mexican truck, picking up and delivering loads within the United States. It's illegal. It's illegal because it takes work away from American trucks. And it hasn't been an issue in the last 20 years. And suddenly, it's on the rise again. 20 years ago, it used to be called interstating, but the government rebranded it and called it cabotage, so everybody understands what it means now. But it wasn't that unusual back in the day for a Canadian truck to enter the States, run into LA, pick up a load of produce, deliver it to Detroit, and then sneak home back into Ontario. And it was very difficult to get caught. The truck drivers would carry portable typewriters, so they would alter the bills of lading so it could show a false pickup or a false delivery point, and that's how they got away with it. They were rarely checked. These days, U.S. Customs and Immigration and the DOT have a database so they can all communicate with one another. So when a truck crosses into the States, they know from the time that truck enters the States to the time it leaves what it's been doing and how long it's been gone. The last case of cabotage that I was aware of occurred back in the 1980s when a woman named Diane would enter the U.S. empty. She would tell customs she was going into Chicago and then return to Toronto. But what in fact she was really doing was running empty to Chicago, picking up a load in Chicago, running out to LA, picking up produce in LA, and then running it back into Ontario. Customs was aware that this was going on because they were all connected with the scales. They would show her running through the scales empty into Chicago and then going west out of Chicago, and she would go through North Platte on I-80 loaded, and they could tell by the weight. And she was gone far longer than what she should have been just to go to Chicago and back. They let her repeat this process a few times, and the next time she went through U.S. Customs empty, they grabbed the truck, they grabbed the trailer, and they arrested her because they knew what she was doing. So they seized the trailer, held it for months, and then auctioned it off. She did some jail time and paid tens of thousands of dollars in fines. And cabotage, clearly at that point, was not worth it. But that was then, and this is now. And recently, in the last couple of years, Mexican domiciled trucks have been seen picking up and delivering all over the United States. They are allowed to enter the States from their Mexican port, run a range of 30 miles to deliver, and then they've got to go back to Mexico again. That's the law, but they're not doing that. They're delivering left, right, and center all over the United States. Now, why isn't this being patrolled? It's probably connected to this open borders policy of the Biden administration. I suspect so anyway. In a time when there's a serious freight recession, it is a punch in the gut for an American trucker to watch American freight move point to point in the U.S., and it's being done by a foreign national. That's just not right. Secretary Mayorkas of Homeland Security and Pickle Park Pete of the Transportation Secretary should be patrolling this stuff, and they are not, and it is hurting American truckers. Stay safe, keep the rubber side down. American freight belongs to American truckers. I'll see you on the backhaul.